Victor here, and I'm finally back! Oh, man, it's been like a crazy 3 weeks. It was a lot of fun, and I brought back a ton of stuff that I can't wait to make pickup videos about. I mean, it's quite a bit of stuff. I mean, I have stories and things to go along with some of the things I got, and I want to talk about some of the stores I went to, and just a whole bunch of other things about my vacation, and I can't wait to get to all that. So this is just going to be a video where I'm going to talk about some of my plans that I have for my upcoming pickup videos. And in this video I also plan to talk about some of the things I did on my vacation that weren't really video game related. That way the pickup videos will be all about the video games mainly. I mean, I'm sure I'll get sidetracked somewhere. But there won't be too much like other stuff. Like I told people I was doing things like going on The Price is Right and stuff. So I'll talk about that in this video, and then the other ones will just strictly be me opening up all the different boxes and bags and stuff I have sitting around, and just showing all the incredible things I brought back. Because yeah, the video game hunting on my trip across the U.S., it was very, very good. I went to a whole bunch of different stores, probably around like 40 to 50 stores. I mean, I just hit like every single one on my path. The night before I left, I'd always try to figure out what stores were upcoming in different areas and stuff. I did a whole bunch of research before I left home too. And I just tried to hit up all those stores. So what we did originally is I went on the vacation with my family as well. We started up in Ontario, Canada, because that's where I am. And then we went down south, and we went to the the southern United States. Went across there to the west over to Los Angeles, went north to San Francisco, and then back across the north part of the United States, and then back up to Ontario. So I mean, we hit a whole range of different things, and just found some super awesome, incredible things that, I mean, I just never see up here in Canada, because Canada kind of really sucks for video game stores. I mean, down there you have game exchanges, and just a whole bunch of other different chains and stuff I never even knew existed. Like vintage stock was awesome. There's a whole bunch of other things too, which I'll definitely talk about as I'm showing a whole bunch of the game stuff. But I just have some incredible things to show, and I got some really, really good deals too. I mean, so many of the stores I went to, it's like buy one get one free sports games, and the sports games are only like $1. So I picked up a ton of sports games for like 50 cents, because that's one thing about my collection. My games have never really been like other than my NES collection, which I really focus on. I don't have a massive amount of games. I have a lot of games compared to a lot of people, but I mean, you look at people's collections, they're always like, oh, how many games do you have and stuff like that. They never really base it on like the whole wide picture of all the different consoles and things you have. So, I mean, compared to some collections out there, my games weren't as big as some. I mean, my NES collection obviously is really great. But other than that, I mean, I have like 100 for this and 100 for that, which I mean, to some people will still seem like a lot. But to some collectors, it's like, that's not too much. It's because I've really avoided a lot of the sports games and things like that. I focused a lot on the more quality games. Well, as I went across the United States this time, I decided if I saw some really cheap sports games, I could get some really good deals on them, I would go for it, just to kind of beef up my game. So that's what I did. A lot of things you see are going to just kind of be sports games and stuff like that. I mean, not a lot of it by any means. I mean, there's a ton of great stuff, but you will see sometimes where I'll open up a box and it'll just be like sports game, sports game, sports game. Because I did end up picking up quite a few, like I said, for like 50 cents a piece, or even cheaper. I think one time it was like I got them for like 33 cents each. It was like 3 for $1. So I did come across some really great deals. I try not to pay more than like $10 for anything, although sometimes it got away from me. But a lot of games I paid like 10 or less, sometimes a bit more, but it was because it was something I really, really wanted. So yeah, I ended up picking up a ton of stuff. A ton of empty boxes too. So, I mean, some people, if you're not really a collector, you might look at like an empty box for a game or a console. It's stupid. Like, why would you want the box? But as a collector, it is just really neat to have something complete in the box. So, I mean, a few times throughout the trip, I actually just bought empty boxes because I already have the pieces to fill it with, and then I'll have the completed box. And it's just so cool to have that that thing complete in the box. Whatever it is, you guys will see all of the different interesting things I have to show in the pickup videos. But like I said, this is just supposed to mainly be a thing where I talk about my trip, and not so much the games. Because yeah, what I plan to do in the next few days, I'm just going to start uploading pickup videos one after another, and we'll see how many I end up getting out there. What I plan to do is I'm going to make each pickup video about 20 to 25 minutes around there, so that they're not too long, so it doesn't take like all day to upload. And then yeah, I'll just be firing them off one after another each day until there's no more. And then after that, I guess I'll go back to either Random Game of the Days, or I'm going to get back to Super Mario World Return to Dinosaur Land, which I had a ton of fun doing just one Random Game of the Day of. and I asked if people would like to see more of it, and there was a very positive response for that. So I definitely plan to do that. So tell me what you'd like to see next: random game of the day, or Return to Dinosaur Land. Because Return to Dinosaur Land will probably only take like a week or two at most, no more than 2 weeks. So whatever I do, so it would either be like a week of random game of the day, and then Return to Dinosaur Land, or get Return to Dinosaur Land over with, and then just do a ton of random game of the days. But anyway, now that the gaming stuff's away, yeah. So like I said, we went down. We left Ontario, went down to the south part of the U.S. I have so much trouble saying that. I keep wanting to say south of the U.S., but that wouldn't be right. The southern part of the U.S. went across there, up, and then back again. And we just did a ton of cool stuff. We saw a whole bunch of things, went to a whole ton of video game stores, of course. But that wasn't really the whole meat of the trip. Of course, the main location was Los Angeles. I'd never been there before. No one in my family had. So it was a really neat thing to see. We wanted to see things like, Hollywood and stuff like that. And one of the main things we did was we went to Universal Studios, California. Now, the Orlando one is one I've been to a few times, and I absolutely love the Orlando Universal Studios. So it was really cool to get to go to the California one and kind of see how they compared. Of course, the thing I'm using to show it is one of those collectible glass things that you can buy while you're there. So it was like $8 for this thing. And when you initially buy it, you get it filled with pop of your choice, and then it's 99 cents to refill after that, which is pretty good. Since we went for 2 days, and like a normal size pop would have been like $4 anyway. So this, for the price of 2 of them, which I obviously would have gotten at least one each day, although I ended up refilling this thing probably like 6 or 7 times. It was a good deal, but yeah. Overall, I had an awesome time at Universal Studios California. It definitely is quite a bit different than the one in Orlando. They also had this really cool studio tour where if you pay to get into the park, you get to go on this tour for free, where it takes you all around to a whole bunch of different sets and things on the Universal lot. I can't talk for whatever reason. But yeah, that was a really cool tour, and they had a whole bunch of rides and stuff. Not as many as the Orlando one, of course, since it is a bit smaller. But the rides were neat. And even rides that were the same, like they had a Return of the Mummy ride at both the Orlando park and the California park. The rides actually were different, so it's not like it was exactly the same thing. So it was really neat to see, and I need to kind of figure out where I'm sitting here, because I do have things all over the place, and I haven't set up the tripod in front of my TV in my room in a long time, so it's kind of getting used to everything again. This time I'm actually using my actual tripod, and it's not just stacked up on all of my Hikaru no Go Japanese manga. But anyway, so we went to Universal Studios in California, and another one of the main things we did was we went to The Price is Right, and here is, of course, the name tag that everyone who goes on The Price is Right wears. Unfortunately, I wasn't picked to be a contestant, but I mean, out of like 300 people in the audience, it's kind of to be expected. But it's not completely random like some people think. They actually interview kind of every single person to kind of see if they're like excited and what their kind of personality is and stuff like that, to see if they suit being on the show. Now, I mean, I thought I would be good for that, but I mean, obviously, out of 300 people, there's going to be other people they're going to pick. I didn't get picked, but whatever, I wasn't expecting to anyway. It was just a lot of fun to watch the show and see how it's really done, because, I mean, I went to a Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, which is a talk show that's on at like 12:35 every night. Last year, for last year's vacation, I went to New York. So this year I did this. And it's amazing when you see stages for like game shows and talk shows and stuff on TV. You think they're these huge things, but it's amazing that once you actually go into the studio, they're actually really small. And with like incredible camera techniques and stuff like that, it makes them look a lot bigger. So it was a lot of fun. Overall, it was a really enjoyable experience. It's actually it was a lot different than I was expecting it to be. Not the actual show itself, but you get there. I could either choose to, I could have chosen to go to the early morning shooting of the show or the afternoon shooting, because they shoot 2 shows a day. So I chose to go to the early morning one just to get it over with, so I would have the rest of the day to go to game stores and stuff like that. So they tell you to be there for like 8 o'clock. So you go in at 8, and they tell you that you're not actually going to go into the studio for shooting until like 12:30. So I mean, it's like, what are they doing with all this time? So what you do is you go in, and first thing they do is they write up your name tag. So this is not my writing. That's why you never see anyone's name tag on The Price is Right with like terrible font or anything like that. One person writes all the name tags so that they're all nice and easy to read. So every person gets their name tag made up. And then you wait to go in for an interviewing process where they take 12 people at a time, and they spend about 5 minutes on all 12 all 12 people. And they ask things like, where do you work? Where do you do? What do you do? where do you work? Like, no, not where do you work. They don't want to know where you work. It's actually funny because during the taping, someone said that they worked at Best Buy, and they kind of had to cut that out because you're not allowed to like mention big store chains or names or anything like that. They didn't even want you to wear shirts or anything that had like company logos or anything on it. But obviously, it's not a real problem for me since I always wear my typical shirts. Because I just wear what I like. I don't see the point of going out and buying some fancy shirt. It's probably costs like $30 at some massively overpriced clothes store, just so that people will think I'm cool or something like that. But anyway, but yeah, overall it was a lot of fun. So then you go in for that interviewing process where they ask you about like what you do for your job, where you're from and stuff like that, and they just see kind of how excited you are, and if you're like I guess photogenic, I guess, to see if you're like suitable for being on the show. So they do that. And like I said, there's 300 people, so even 5 minutes each for like each of those sets of 12. It takes a while, and then after that, you have to go and you just sit down and wait to go in, and you can actually buy food there. I guess they make probably like a killing off of food since you're there for like 4 hours before you even get to go in, and that was something I hadn't even been expecting. So that, it was overall, so then you get to go in, you get to see the show, and it's a lot of fun. And the show that I was in the audience for, since I obviously didn't get to go up, that one's actually going to be on TV on November 15th. So that just goes to show you like how far ahead they are with the recording. So it's like, I guess they do 2 a day, and then they probably get to take like half the year off or something like that, because then they don't have to record anymore for quite a while. But that's really cool, and overall it was a lot of fun to even just be in the audience of The Price is Right. It was great. So yeah, then from there we went out to San Francisco. And we checked out Alcatraz. We went over to Alcatraz, and it was really cool. We spent like 3 hours there. So we didn't spend all day because we actually needed to start moving on to our next destination. Because we didn't want to pay for like 2 days at the hotel. So we got asked for a late checkout. And then that way, what's it called? Like, we wouldn't have to actually pay for an extra day. Because if we had stayed till like 8 o'clock at night, we probably would have had to do that. But 3 hours was enough to see pretty much everything. You get to do this cool audio tour where you get this kind of Walkman kind of thing, and you put the earphones on. And you walk around and it kind of says this is this and this is that, but it was actually really exciting. In San Francisco, I also found this really cool arcade thing too. They had a ton of really old retro arcade machines from back in like the 80s, and they all still costed what they cost back when the arcade machine was released. So they have like a ton of 25-cent arcade machines. Well, most of those machines probably would have been upgraded like 50 cents or $1 these days. And I did make a video about it, but I never got the chance to upload it. So you might see that at some point up there too in the subscription. I guess it's not a subscription box anymore. Now it's like a really unorganized list that you can never find the videos you're looking for in. Yeah, those were kind of the 3 main things I did. Alcatraz, Universal Studios, and Price is Right. They were a lot of fun, and yeah, overall it was a really, really good trip, and it does feel good to be home, but I'm going to miss it, because it was just an awesome experience. I've always been the road trip kind of guy. Ever since I was a little kid, we've always gone traveling on road trips. We used to have a trailer, actually, so we'd kind of stay at trailer parks and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun, although we got rid of it a few years ago. Because it was getting a bit old and stuff like that. Plus we got a dog. Although we didn't know our dog would actually turn out to be like the best dog ever. We thought it would kind of... So we kind of thought, oh no, it might like not like the trailer and stuff like that. But she's great. I've never shown her on a video. I should show her on a video someday. But anyway, I keep looking over at this. I don't know. I really like the name tag. It looks really cool. It's actually a sticker that you kind of... They made sure everyone sticked it on the left side of their shirt. Although the kind of parts that you peeled off of, I just put them back on the back. So that I can just kind of carry it around. I don't know what I'll eventually do with it. I don't stick it on the wall or something. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So I have tons of stuff here to make pickup videos about. And like I said, I'm just going to be uploading them one day after another. Maybe not the day after I upload this video, but if not the day after, then I'll probably upload them on Monday. Because this video will probably go up right after I record it. And then I think Monday I'll start doing the pickup videos. And we'll just see how long they go on for. Up to Friday. So I mean... if the pickup videos, what am I trying to say? Next week, I'm just going to upload all pickup videos. So even if the pickup videos end on like a Wednesday, that will be all for next week, and then things will resume the Monday afterwards. Although I might do like a Top 3 Tuesday or something like that. I haven't been keeping up with EdT1138's Top 3 Tuesdays because obviously I've been away and haven't really been able to make them. As I haven't had my collection at my disposal. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of the plan for the next while. I'll be doing the pickup videos and stuff like that. All these bags around me. And I can't wait to show you guys what I've got. So yeah, so I'm back now. And the videos will resume to the regular schedule in the near future. So anyway, that's it for this video, I believe. I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to remember something I wanted to say, I think. Probably. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.